Not only do I not succeed in job interviews, I routinely embarrass myself. My last interview literally lasted 5 minutes, she ended it that quickly after realizing she was in the presence of an autist. I can't take it anymore, brothers, I just want a wage. Here comes a blog post, so don't read if it's not your thing. What my average day looks like. 6:30 a.m. wake up and get ready for work. Take modafinil and caffeine. Check Binance. I wear a rotation of the same 5 outfits, same shoes every day. 8 a.m. office job where I send emails and look into issues for customers, minimum wage. Between tasks, check Binance. Get overall 1 hour worth of unpaid breaks, don't eat breakfast or lunch. Just listen to music, lurk on /biz and check Binance. I get along with the people at my work, but they're clearly not my friends. 6 p.m. get the bus home. Along the way I lurk on /biz, listen to music and check Binance. I go to the store and buy dinner, probably a microwave meal unless it's Friday when I have pizza. 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. listen to music, post on /biz and check Binance. Repeat. Today's Sunday. I was cooking mac and cheese out of a box listening to this and suddenly I broke down and cried. First time I've cried in a while. Oh, for the love of God, no. Drinking whiskey at 12:26 on a Monday night drunk. Watching my hopes and dreams plummet. Have to wage cuck tomorrow. Why can't I just win once in life? Oh God, no. 3K link let here. Anon, you're too slow. You need to make 3,000 orders a minute. Anon, your 2-second break is over, get back to work. Anon, why you slack for 0.04 seconds? Use that time to clean the whole restaurant. Okay Anon, you stay late and work extra 12 hours unpaid overtime. Anon, why aren't you smiling? Smile Anon. Aren't you happy to work here? Mine just ask questions whose answers are clearly on my resume and the typical why did you leave your last job? Like they don't even care. I haven't gotten a second interview after applying to over 150 locations. Basically at all 24-hour McDonald's, the lobby closes at 11 p.m. but the drive-thru remains operational. I was the guy who takes your order with the headset. Essentially I told every customer that the store was closed, drive-thru included, and for almost my entire shift we would sit in the back of the store and play PUBG Mobile and eat stolen food. Manager was totally cool with it, stoner in his 20s and lived with his mom. It was an overnight shift so we could get away with murder since the hourly average for most stores at that time is like $60 maybe, but that only got us so far. Eventually the judicial branch manager for that franchise paid a visit and informed us we were down 13% in profits and we sorta got busted, but shortly after that happened I moved 5 miles north and never set foot in that shithole again. All in all I did this for roughly 11 months and at the end of it had $5,000 which I still live off of today. The year is 2021. Applying for minimum wage entry-level job. Requires 3 years experience in a leadership capacity and at least a bachelor's. No problem. Have 4 years unpaid internship and a master's. Take criminal background check. Take child abuse clearance. Take drug screening. HR asks for state-mandated social media check. Okay, give access to Facebook profile. See that my profile picture does not have a woman in it. See that my profile status does not say in a relationship. HR starts inquiring into my relationship history. Demands references to prove past sexual encounters. No references available. Try to come up with story about why my sexual references aren't available. HR doesn't buy it. Checks the National Incel Registry. Application denied. Rent has risen 60% relative to income since the 1960s. Healthcare costs are skyrocketing. We work harder and earn less every year. We have to spend more to survive every year. Your parents went to college for nothing and bought homes for spare change. Upward mobility is decreasing. You have zero socioeconomic leverage, zero political power, zero say. You're unimaginably cucked. Words do not do it justice. Step back for a moment and look at the trajectory you're on. More and more jobs require degrees, and those jobs pay less and less, and those degrees cost more and more. We have a more educated, more competent workforce today, and that workforce is getting poorer, not richer. Your individual competence has nothing to do with it. Our situation today is the result of macroeconomic forces. There is a socio-economic power imbalance. The more power the rich have, the employers, the job creators, the less they have to pay you. It's that simple. How do I escape the minimum wage grind? Prostitution. I exist to provide labor to my employer. In return, I receive just enough money to provide for basic shelter, food, and transportation so I can return the next day and labor for my employer again. I will do this day after day and be thankful for the privilege. I will do this week after week, month after month, and year after year until my health and body can no longer provide value to my employer. Then I will die. Ragie Wagie stomps his feet. Ragie Wagie can't be neat. If he does, he won't eat. If no slaving, sleep in street. Ragie Wagie stomps his feet. Ragie Wagie scared of need. Wagie cry and Wagie moan. Works his fingers to the bone. Work and work, no time for fun. Only exit is a gun. Be me, Greek fag. 21, in some kind of college. Working pizza delivery. I deliver also food that's like homemade meals. Every day a 70+ guy orders at 1 p.m. only cooked meals. Pleasant guy. One day I see a black and white photo of Amsterdam through the half-opened door. He greeted me usually. "You been in Amsterdam, sir?" "Yeah, couple of times actually." "Wanna come in and check that photo?" 0.4 seconds of thought in my mind. A. Does he want to suck me off? I had that suggested to me. B. Is he gonna kill me? Fuck it. Go in. More than 2,000 framed black and white pictures. Guy is a retired photographer. Has traveled to more than 100 countries. Stories, so many stories. His memory was helped by the pictures. Lived widowed and alone. Next 5 months he always changed his ordering time to 4:55. My shift was ending at 5 p.m. so that was my last delivery. Every time, different story, different photo. Spent 30 minutes after work with him. I kept working in that pizza place for 2 months just for that customer. Pizza boss and his wife complete arrogant assholes. After the 5 months. 4 days pass with no order from him. Visit his house after work. Piece of paper to his wall. See that his funeral was the day before. Call pizza place. Quit. Be me. 20 years old. Work at a local gas station. Looks at the schedule. Working today from 6 a.m. Better get some sleep so I can somewhat function. Barely got any sleep, 4 hours at max. Wake up at 5 a.m. Have quick breakfast, get dressed and rush to work. Arrive at work. See that 2 of my colleagues are already there. Wait, what? JPEG. Go inside. Check the schedule. Schedule has been changed. I was supposed to be free. MFW when I woke up at 5 a.m. for nothing. MFW nobody told me the schedule changed. Why are people like this? I have one from last week. Work at Walmart in northern Yukon. Work as the telecom director. Family of 5 comes in at 3 a.m. They demand pallets. I haul pallets across the main antechamber. They display their coupon. It expired 15 years ago and it was printed in Spanish. They said they got it last week. Tell them that it expired just a bit ago. They haggle with me for a while. And said they might just go to Tim Hortons if we can't reach a deal. I said I would accept the coupon. Adjusting for Canadian inflation. They figured it was fine. As I'm filling out the necessary paperwork to complete the transaction. One of the little kids from the family starts playing with the CRT telecom controls. He ends up knocking over a few shipping containers of raw, unprocessed cotton. Manager comes storming out. And says that someone is paying for that cotton. Meanwhile family flees the scene with their pallets. This isn't ideal. Avi. End up buying an entire shipping container of cotton. I now am paying to store this cotton. Does anyone have any advice? I have never sold cotton before and I have no clue how to get rid of it. I need the money to pay rent. Please help. Oh boy, do I have one. Be me, 19-year-old Swiss college student. Be working at 24-hour chocolate delivery store. Yes, we have those. Our main product is alcohol delivery late at night, but sometimes, and I mean all the time, people order chocolate to go with it. On night, a call comes in. Around 1 a.m. in the morning, my shift's nearly over. We recently got a new girl who takes orders on the phone. Since I'm the only one there, she calls me over because she can't understand the guy's order. Take the phone. Hello sir, what is your order? I want chocolate. What kind sir? All of it? All my what.png. Excuse me sir, could you clarify? I want all the chocolate. Do you mean one of each sir? Guy is silent for a while. Yes. Are you sure sir? Guy is silent. Yes. Oh, okay. Would you like anything to drink to go with it? I don't drink. Okay sir. Say I'll be there in 40 minutes or less. Everyone is what.jpging. Packaging guy is mad. Takes him a good 30 minutes to pack everything. Go to his address. Shit, this is the super rich part of town. Literal mansion. Knock on the door. 6'5" bulky guy answers the door. Do you have it? Guy sounds like he's about to cry. Hand him one of 14 bags. Immediately opens it and grabs something. Tears it open with his teeth. Begins to devour the chocolate like Israel devours Palestine. Begins to cry. Oh shit. Hugs me. Keeps crying and eating. 15 minutes later I'm out of there. Total bill was $3,675 US. Got a 100 franc tip. Best day.
I'm gonna end it tomorrow. Please tell me what you all will do when you make it.
Probably quit my job and play video. Maybe get a cute girlfriend. Go on vacation once in a while.
Read books in university.
Buy a farm.
Probably gonna set up an orchard on a piece of land and fill it with a ton of my babies, once I find the right woman.
I wouldn't change a thing Anon. I wouldn't get a nice car, I wouldn't flash it anywhere. I'd probably just travel more, and I just picture myself in the living room with fire in the hearth, a book in my hand and dog on the sofa. I don't even have any friends, so backstabbing lottery curse wouldn't come knocking on my door. I think I'm cursed to live alone. Regardless, no money is worth killing yourself over.
1. Limb lengthening surgeries. 2. Real estate plus wholesale business. 3. Suicide before I'm 30 because I have been scarred. 4. Possibly fund a Pepe virus that will kill every human along with me as revenge.
In that case, I respect your wish. I would use some money to travel all around the world and then use the rest to start an animation studio and direct my own anime films.
I am going to move to the Ozarks within a month and basically live off-grid with a few friends and hopefully develop a wholesome Christian community.
I'll pour one out, you friend. What I'm going to do when I make it is reflect on the people that made it possible. That means, you, dear reader. We're all going to make it together.
I did make it, Anon. Millions. Quit a really good job, hanging out at home doing the things that I would have done after work. Started a family, enjoyed the serene sense of nothing to do, kind of like a free man recently released from jail. Playing video, going to the park. I wish I could hold on to that feeling, but it fades, and you're left with yourself. No amount of money can begin to change that. It's really true that you need to surround yourself with family, good friends, people you can enjoy, because otherwise you're left with the nothingness of material possessions, and there's always something else you need to get to fill the void. Turns out making it isn't always exactly what they make it out to be. You've made it if there is love in your life.
Buy land, get a good diet, get a project car to rebuild, get really good at rock climbing, get a golden retriever, provide for my aging parents, bang whores.
I will achieve financial freedom and therefore freedom of my time. I will literally just go study whatever interests me. Collage is free in Norway, paint, play music, meet people, just seeing what the fuck life can be. In addition to doing whatever I can with my money to make a better world. I'm sorry to know it ended up like this Anon, but I won't doubt whatever choice you are doing. Merry Christmas Anon. May Christ be with you.
I'll go back to study math and physics. I dropped them over CS because of comfy jobs, but it's been an empty experience. Will also go back to my piano lessons. I hope some of my autistic friends make it with me, so I would have someone to travel and have fun with. Let's share some fun Wagie Rage stories. I'll go first. Working for big-name local Toyota dealership. Start there as what's called a TXM advisor, Toyota Express Maintenance. If your car needs serviced, you bring it to me, and I relay whatever the technician says your car needs. First few months in, around November, management releases Christmas bonus plan for TXM advisors and regular full-on advisors. Christmas bonus fully depends on what you sell and CSI, customer surveys. $5 every air filter sold, $10 each battery, $10 each alignment, $10 each brake job, $5 for other random services. Supposed to accumulate from mid-November till the end of December. Work my ass off, come in early, stay late to sell as much bullshit snake oil as possible to get a nice healthy bonus. Keep track of all my sales and add up how much my bonus is gonna be at the end of the month. Somewhere around $4,500. Management drags feet and takes fucking forever to come down and actually give everyone their bonus checks. Leave for lunch one day. Come back into the office and office partner tells me, "Hey man, go to Manager Anon's office, they released all the bonuses." Fucking ecstatic. Go to office and two other advisors in boss's office getting paid out. "Hey boss. I heard we're all getting paid out." "Oh, yeah Anon, yeah, you didn't qualify." "What?" "Yes, your CSI was 86.9% and you had to be at 88.3% to qualify. We'll talk once your office is cleared, thanks." Gives me shitty look and uncomfortable looks and silence from co-advisors. Go back in office and tell him that I'm not going to accept his response, I earned my money, and that this is unfair, and will go to GM and HR to get this sorted out if I have to. Shrugs shoulders. The GM is the one that signed all the checks and he didn't write one for you.
During mid-2019 I was called into the office because they claimed they overpaid me by about $900. Hey, so HR accidentally offset everyone's pay last night, and some got underpaid, some got overpaid. You unfortunately were one of the advisors that were overpaid, so we're gonna go ahead and just take the overpayment out of your next check in a couple weeks, so go ahead and consider this one a loan. This happened in California. Actually boss, we're not gonna go that way, no refunds, thank you for letting me know, but I don't authorize you to do that. Well, unfortunately Anon, it doesn't work that way. Look up California Labor Code. Find exact labor code that says they can't do shit about it if I don't sign and consent, and they can get fucked. Go to HR on lunch break and tell them that I'm not going to authorize for them to reduce my pay by a single red cent. Well, we apologize for the inconvenience, but that's how we are gonna go about it. Cite exact labor code, I think it's California Labor Code section 227. HR bitch's eyes shoot open from her drowsy gaze. Well, I'll go ahead and send an email to Andy, my direct boss, and he can talk to you. He okay, sounds good, leave office. Andy immediately calls my phone and wants me in his office. Politely tell him to get fucked, there's nothing here HR can do. Inform all other advisors that we're overpaid. I suddenly become HR and management's public enemy number one. I didn't recover all the money they fucked me out of, but at least it was a small victory.
I got fucked out of a very meaningful bonus simply because a handful of my customers were pissy about the coffee in the waiting room being too cold, the kids' room being a mess, and that someone shit on the bathroom floor. These are actual reasons I read from the survey responses. HR couldn't and wouldn't do shit about it because they slapped the label contest onto the bonuses. This happened the next year as well. December of 2019 I got fucked in a very similar fashion, only this time I didn't push for any snake oil or other sales, because I knew what they were going to try to pull.
Same company. Determined there is a major error in the method that could result in the concentration coming out wrong, resulting in misdosing. Discovered how to fix it. Emailed my female boss. Fired that day. Whistleblow. Nothing changed, bros. My woman boss just chose to ignore me. One person died in the clinical trials, who knows if that's why.
Work shitty factory job on swing shift. 8-hour day plus mandatory 4 hours of overtime if someone calls off. Someone on the relief shift calls off. Faggot team leader tells me I have to stay late. Easter Sunday and it's not a paid holiday. Say fuck this and just go home when my 8 hours is up. Team leader goes nuclear and tries to get me fired. Production supervisor tells him to fuck off. Welcome the next day. Team leader hunts me down and literally yells at me. Play dumb.
Work at warehouse. Place is fucking huge. Get 15-minute break. Includes walking back to the break room. Includes walking back onto the warehouse floor. Headset times you, and if you are 1 minute late it automatically reports you to HR, who then question you about it at your next performance review. I got through one performance review, they questioned why I was 1 to 2 minutes late back from my breaks. Got to the next review and they did the same thing. I politely informed them this job wasn't for me and left the meeting. Fuck Wageslavery. I want to be rich, and if not then I'd rather stay poor. I simply refuse to play the game of long-term wage kicking.
Current event for me. Project manager looking for someone to do a report. No one locally wants to do it because it involves a highly regulated facility with annual inspections monitoring Fed money. Basically lots of file reviews and lots of interesting aspects to discuss in the report, not worth the money we're charging for the report. Get call from my supervisor. Hey Anon, no one wants to do this report, can you do it? Can I say no? Not really. This is gonna be complicated and we're gonna lose a shit ton, and it's going on my quota. Alright, we'll add another 25% for you. Now start it up. Get it done, make recommendations that are in addition to current federal oversight. Client is pissed there is more shit for them to do before property acquisition transfer. Yup, that's me. Mr. Go-To for a tough project. Even the PM wrote me into justifying my recommendations on a conference call with client.
Part-time Wageslavery in supermarket produce section. Monday. Manager is some wog faggot. Comes in one day pissing and moaning about what a shitty job I did the night before. I didn't work the night before, I haven't for months. Tell him I'd rather he just fired me than have to stand there listening to him whinge. He throws a tantrum and starts screaming at the top of his lungs. Store manager likes me because we chat shit in the smoking area. Backs me up. Produce manager gets a warning because customers complained about him. Is told he has to be nicer to me. Quit a few weeks later just in time for Christmas rush. No notice.
Work for a large company, forced to develop an internal solution. Well, the specs are unknown, the internal customer doesn't want the solution, and the whole team have a crab in the bucket mentality. Question multiple time the situation to our product owner, scrum master, my own manager. My manager leaves, while exiting I have a meeting with my new manager and my old manager. Old manager tells in this meeting that there are complaints about me. Can't give any specifics, can't tell who complained about me. His advice to my new manager is to give me a negative review. New manager pretend to be a bro. No, you won't get a bad review, just deliver good work. Work hard, but decided I want to leave since I can't trust the team anymore. Tell new manager about leaving. Is cool, he tells me. Go for other opportunities in the company, feels like I'm being sabotaged, but can't lay my finger on it. Finally land a job, leaves the team. Manager is pissed and give me a bad review. Serious fuck this clown world, I'm doing fine now, but got some serious trust issues in the working environment.
I worked as a CAD and Revit technician, which was a little over minimum wage, but had a bonus scheme based on your productivity. Drawings and modeling were tracked. I would regularly get plus 50% of my base wage in bonuses and was regularly the high performer for the month. I was then given some bullshit job to fix some surveying drawings that had been outsourced to India. Real tedious stuff. I got the work done, but because the manager had estimated the time taken to be much less than what it actually took, the bonus system calculated a negative bonus figure, and I'm sure no one else would have done it any quicker. I only found this out when I got my payslip, and the negative bonus had been applied, and I effectively got paid less than minimum wage. The boss didn't give a fuck and wouldn't change it, so I quit as soon as I found another job, about 6 weeks later.
My old job tried to deny me my vacation request I had put in 6 months earlier, so the next day I went to PetSmart and bought 4 rats, 1 male and 3 female, and a bunch of rat food, and put them in the ventilation system with all of the food. This was 4 years ago, and I heard from my friend that works there that management still hasn't been able to solve our rat problem at the office the other day.
Fake job as operational engineer, pretty low pay. They promise I get a raise after 1 year. I do not get a raise, my car breaks down, and I do not get a car either. I start working maybe 1 hour a day. 3 months later I get my end-year review. Manager says I only score a 5/10 and need to work better harder. Tell him I'm not going to work harder and I want more money. Manager flips out and tells me to go home. Receive letter that I am fired 2 days later. Go on government jibs which are 80% of my paycheck at said firm. 8-month holiday of heavens. Take new job not in it but business. Do nearly fuck all work with the office Stacy's and get paid more. Life is comfy now. Seriously fuck it. Fuck managers.
Me. Work in train maintenance in Germany. Always pretend to respect anyone, and if they tell me their life story I try to look interesting. Everyone literally is okay with me, no hate. Most of time I pretend to know anything about my job. I only do 5 minutes of work and rest of 8 hours in sleeping in one of those trains, letting all the others do the job. No one argues or snitches on me. Literally get the same money as someone who works constant 8 hours keck. Literally gain 30 kilos here. Gonna get a promotion soon. Life is good.
18. Work a job at a third-party Apple tech site. One of the coders emails me a program to my job easier. Training lady sees it, I'm fired on the spot because they think I made it illegally. 22. Take on a new job working 7 different tasks. Underpaid in the industry by 20 to 30k, don't complain needing the money. Start falling asleep uncontrollably between noon. Management thinks I'm partying too hard. Placed on warnings, bad reviews. Etc. Starts getting toxic at work. Put a notice, management asks not to go. Leave anyways. Find out I'm narcoleptic, 2-month break, and I lose 20 pounds and feel amazing after quitting. 24. Looking for a job and boomers don't believe my work experience. Finally find a job in tech again. Bust my ass because I believe. Work to get all on-site tech certifications, do 6 months overtime. Fired for the following: 1 back from lunch 10 mins early, 2 skipped a day. Off on an overtime day, I was sick. 3 the approval from my manager to call off was wrong. HR is laughing with the manager as I'm walked out. Fall into PTSD. Never trust working for others again.
First month at new job and notice a girl on my team that does nothing. She's been there less than a year and was promoted to senior. Months later she is promoted to a higher position in a different department. Months pass and it turns out she did nothing in her new role and her manager, instead of firing her, demotes her to my position. She complains to me every day about fairness, even though it's been over 1.5 years and I haven't been promoted once. I go on a PTO break when she is set to get off a performance plan. The day I get back she's not only promoted, but promoted to where she's making more than the position she was demoted from. To this day, I have no idea how. We had multiple managers, and so unless she sucked them all off then that's the only way, because she was a horrible complainer, and no one liked her. I was never promoted once in 2.5 years, so I quit. Fuck that place.
Work in France. Have permanent contract. They can't fire me without giving me money. Job and coworkers are fine, no politics or backstabbing. Feels comfy.
Corona shit happens. In a team of 8 guys. They say we will rotate on who will be at the office and who work from home. I have been at the office for 7 months now, no rotation. They got raises I didn't, plus they no longer pay for my travel, and I still have to do everything that they do from home and everything in the office alone.
Work at Lowe's as cashier. Lead cashier asked if I can clean up carts since we have no one in the lot today. Sure. See coworker of mine, we shoot the shit as he helps me. Assistant manager sees us in the lot, doesn't say anything, just walks by as we work. I go back inside to cover someone's lunch break at the register. Same assistant manager approaches me 15 minutes later, scolds me for not cleaning the entire lot, and that she's disappointed in my work ethic. Just continue to reply okay to her until she realized I don't really give a fuck. I say whatever these people want to hear, and then go back to doing whatever I want. But my pride. I'd rather get back at this shitty company by stealing than standing up for myself, Desu.
Managed a retail cannabis operation. Previous owner sold to a new investor. Pocketed cash on the way out. New accountant goes over the books. Discovers loss and blames me. I ask how such a thing would even be possible when I don't have access to the drop safe. Fired.
Work concessions at movie theater. Second week of the job. Catch flu. Call in sick. Oh no, you have to still come in. Sir, I'm throwing up every hour. I don't care, hangs up. I don't bother coming even after I get better. Looking back, was a waste of time after 10 hours of unpaid introduction videos.
Apply to be a pharmacy technician at a grocery store. Get the job. 3 weeks into the job, get schedules as bagger and cashier. Let it slide this one time. They start getting comfy and schedule me as bagger once a week. I tell the manager I didn't apply to be a bagger. She schedules me on Christmas week as a bagger every day because pharmacy was closed. Fucking clocked in and took an 8 hours nap in the break room, clocked out and then never returned. That was my last wage slave cuck job.
After just walking out the door of the last 3 places that fucked me over, no arguing, no negotiation, etc., I just left. I got my current job with a handshake and good conversation with my current boss. He said he liked the fact that I'm not a yes man and will stand up for myself and speak my mind. It's been 5 years and I haven't been fucked out of a single cent yet. The only reason employers fuck you is because they know they can and get away with it.
Start on apprenticeship, get told great career prospects etc. We will train you up into management. Low salary as apprenticeship. Finish apprenticeship, stay on same salary. Every year pay reviews. Sorry Anon, you are getting lowest pay rise in team as. Even though you are getting highest percent pay rise, you have very low salary due to apprenticeship wage. 3 years in. 4 years in. 5 years in. Still in same job as apprenticeship with many new responsibilities and expectations. Now no longer doing job I am paid to do, but still paid shitty unlivable wage. Watch whole office slowly get made redundant. Have mental breakdown. Leave due to depression. Miss redundancy payout due to leaving 1 week before redundancy of my team officially announced. Manager conveniently leaves out redundancy prospect as I have breakdown in front of him telling him I can no longer work in the stagnate, Wagie fuckfist. Spend rest of existence trying to claw this time back.
B17. Looking for a job, walk into a little Chinese sushi restaurant. Hey, do you have any jobs available? You drive car? Yeah, okay, come back tomorrow. From then on I started my long career of delivery driving for a restaurant whose entire staff can't speak solid English. Shit was run so bad. The managers were a married couple. But while the wife was the cashier, all the husband did was smoke in the kitchen and watch Chinese porn on his phone. Sometimes he would call those lines where cute girls talk to you. The wife would come into the kitchen and yell Chinese words at him. The kitchen walls were caked in grease, dead mosquitoes' hawks were in the water we washed the rice ladles with. The sweet and sour sauce tub was left without a lid under a dank sink. While the cooks were Chinese, the dishwashers were illegal Mexicans. I once spoke in broken Spanish, how much he got paid. It was $100 a week for like 60 hours a week. Despite all this, it was a very amazing job. People tip more for sushi than for pizza. I would make $100 in untaxed tips for 3 hours on a weekend. Eventually I got the idea to start getting some underlings to cover for the shifts I didn't feel like working. I had about 5 friends that I would manage their shifts, leaving the best ones for me. It was so awesome. One day I was bored and decided to go on strike. While we were getting paid a lot on weekends, weekdays were so bad on occasions. Sometimes I would make $10 for 4 hours of work. I wanted a base hourly wage of $5 on weekdays. She said no, so I got all my friends to stop going, and then she just hired some Asians to replace us. And that was the end. 2 months later, the place shut down for health code violations. Also the wife was pregnant. Last I heard from the chipper Asian delivery driver, the baby came out retarded. Kinda sad. I haven't even went over the PTSD Marine waiter or the 40-year-old delivery driver. Story for another day.
Sales manager. No salesman to manage because industry is dying. Today, card transaction network down again. Put cash only sign in door. Idiot custies don't read signs because they think they are special. Rage at my Wagie ass when I tell them cash only. It's not my fault, but I get blamed by illiterate retards anyway. I fucking hate my life, brez.
Be fresh college graduate. Join revolving door sales job. Get fired after like 2 months. Get Wagie position at grocery store. Finally get motivated to find real work. See upcoming 2-week schedule. Midnight shifts, 4 a.m. shifts all around trash. Land another real corporate gig. Leave on 1-day notice. 2 years later 80k WFH job homeowner. Work from home job is still production based waging. It never ends, bros. Rage at my Wagie ass when I tell them cash show me. It's not my fault, but I get blamed by illiterate retards anyway. I fucking hate my life, bros.
Going to repost something I've posted here before. Be me, 21-year-old senior backend software engineer, long story, 150k United States dollars salary. Not engaged in HR corporate culture bullshit, and not too keen on smalltalk with the man-children at the office. Follow my father's footsteps, and his father's too, and show up to work every day in suit and tie. No, not a cheap shitty men's warehouse suit, because I respect my profession and believe looking well put together is important. Get told by HR that man-children in the office are starting to resent me because the way I look and speak gives off aristocratic and elitist vibes. Disregard this preemptive warning. Eventually get my own small team and deliver first project ahead of schedule with excellent quality. Tell team members who report to me that they can do whatever the fuck they want and come in whenever they want, as long as the work gets done when it needs to be done. Refuse to micromanage my team and put time reports and shit in Jira and other work tracking services. Start working from home regularly and showing up at the office at 12 p.m. whenever I am at the office. Team produces new stuff constantly, productivity is highest in company, and all goes very well. This goes on for months. Rest of company eventually gets supremely jealous at our working conditions that I put in place for my team. King Manchild and other team starts to ignore me, block my pull requests, and badmouths me behind my back to senior management claiming that my code is insecure and terrible. Get pulled into a meeting with HR and senior management putting me on an improvement plan. Constantly smiles when talking to the engineering manager, which pisses him off as I wasn't taking the meeting seriously. Engineering manager starts to think I'm outsourcing code to India because productivity was too high for the amount of time I was spending in the office. Gets let go the next week.
Man, I was born for this thread. Be me 16-year-old kid. Get job at ethnic grocery store. Poor family, this was heaven to me. Paid like $400 in cash a week. Treated worse than human filth. Customers used and abused me, forced me to carry shit for hundreds of meters to their houses. Was constantly attacked by everyone. Family-owned business, whilst being an outsider. Was the hardest working person and the least paid. Worked holidays, weekends, was never shown any gratitude, except for one person. Abused by rude customers. Rich customers would look at me in disgust as I walked their groceries to their cars. I work a super comfy job right now, but I have tons of horror stories from all my jobs.
Working at shitty job. Contract work, so no official paid sick time. Get some kind of stomach bug that's absolutely destroying my insides. Try to call out sick with no pay. Boss starts blowing up my phone saying I can't take off sick. Tell him I'm literally almost shitting my pants. Basically threatens me saying, if I don't come in I'm going to lose my job. Begrudgingly go to work, because if I lose my job I'm fucked. About 15 minutes in racing to the bathroom. My ass is glued to it for like an hour as I spray Agent Orange from the depths of my soul. This continues for like 4 hours of me working for 15 to 20 minutes then racing to the bathroom. Halfway through the day boss catches wind of what I'm doing. Starts slamming on the bathroom door telling me that I can't spend all day in the bathroom. Tell him it's either that, or I shit on the floor. He gets audibly angry and leaves in a huff. 2 weeks later when I get my paycheck I realize he fucking didn't pay me for the day I went in. Go to his office and tell him off. He sits there like a smug idiot saying you were here, but didn't actually work, why should I pay you? Told him to go fuck himself and walked out then and there. Later that day he started blowing up my phone begging me to come back because I was the only asshole in the entire floor that actually knew what they were doing. Never work contract work if you can avoid it, but sadly it's almost impossible to do now since out country is so fucking kike that almost every job requires for you to be a contractor before they permanently hire.
Work for moving lending company. Sign up to be delivery driver, wage is 14 per hour. Go to sign wage contract, says 12 per hour for sales associate. Desperate for money, accept job begrudgingly. Backing up 5-ton, woman directing me, directs me right into the back of someone's car. Woman accepts zero responsibility, all on me the driver. Situation is moving up through company, question gets asked. Why was a sales associate driving the truck? Zero repercussions, zero demerits. Manager gets fucked for having sales associate driving truck. Serves her right the cheap fuck, trying to garnish my wage 2 per hour. Some big regional manager is coming in, likely to fire me. Don't show up to work next day, and don't answer phone calls. Drive by few months later, place is out of business.
I was in the NIP for a few years. Pre-Floyd. Mandatory OT on days off. Give you a hard time if you take the OT in cash. Have a bunch of time in the bank. All requests for time off are denied. Mandatory suicide training posted after a bunch of cops off themselves. If you don't complete the training by the due date you receive a command discipline. This means they take vacation days away. Suicide rate is apparently a mystery.
Teach ESL at a small Catholic college. Witness several students get diagnosed with learning disorders and get expelled shortly thereafter, ADA violation, but they are a faith-based institution, so they can do that. Witness an administrator who is on a first-name basis with the Pope groping nuns on a field trip. A student with great English skills, but crippling test anxiety keeps being held back because she gets too nervous to do the bullshit standardized test they need to pass in order to leave the program. After she misses the cutoff by under 5% for a third consecutive semester, I take the initiative and administer a practice test for her in the presence of some other nuns so there are no allegations of monkey business. Test is freely available online. She passes with a 96%, 16% higher than the cutoff. I inform my manager and my manager loses her shit, refers me to the molester administrator. I get called into the office on the first day of the second semester. Anon, we've spoken to you about this pattern of insubordination. You are being suspended from teaching, effective immediately. You will be escorted to your office to clear out your desk. Sign this voluntary resignation form now, make it easy on yourself. Tell them to fuck themselves, I'm not signing shit, and I intend to appeal their decision and possibly retain a lawyer, because this is a clear violation of their academic code. They decide not to contest my appeal and pay out my contract, 8 months, bi-weekly $1,000 checks. I guess this isn't a wage rage story as it has a happy ending, but merely an illustration of how bullshit the Catholic Church and office politics at small schools can be. I was kinda bummed I didn't get to go through the appeal process and play a video of the head priest groping a 16-year-old on the projector in front of all the teachers, but that's the kind of thing that might make me end up dead in a suspicious accident, so maybe it worked out for the best. Good morning. Monday again. How are you? Good. How are you? Good. That's good. How was your weekend? Good. How was yours? Also good, thanks. Hump day. Here we are again. Another week. Another day. Another dollar. Have a good weekend. Don't drink too much.
Be me yesterday. Slept 8 hours but was somehow still tired. Started work. Worked. Finished work. Mindlessly browsed internet for 3 hours straight. Felt so demoralized for not having the gumption or energy to start doing anything productive without a wage cuckmaster bossing me about. Went for a short jog. Went to store to buy food. Bought food, including junk food for 2 days, realized I can't bear to give up binging. Ate some of it. Felt so fat. Realized I need to go for more walks, in addition to jogging. Read the PM says lockdown may last until 2nd of April, before even being eased. Go to bed, read open letter to open-minded progressives. Sleep more than 8 hours before work. Wake up at 5 a.m., browse internet on phone in bed a little, saw that the latest Molbekino had dropped, sleep again, woken up with alarm. Start work. Had lots of free time today. Read news about programmer who works on self-driving getting pardoned by the eternal God Emperor. Read programmer's Wikipedia page, realize what he had done at my age, and how subhuman I was for not working on hard technical things, or even anything technical at all. Finished work. Have been browsing internet for an hour, drinking coffee, will go jogging, then probably some walking, then binging, then, ideally, video, reading, sleep. I have this strange worry that if I don't walk enough then my body will become wonky in some way, like a character from the Grubhub advert or a typical American. There is nothing I really want to read. I have seen the EPUBs of some books I read in 2020, and I barely remember the content of some of them apart from a few sentences. Why liberalism failed, democracy. The God that failed, the age of entitlement. I am still trying to invent some work for myself to do at work. Things are progressing. I saw QT Stacy Hybrid on a work Zoom call. She looked like a slightly less slutty version of that celebrity that is so slutty she is almost a porn star, but not quite.
Be wage cuck. Customer starts getting mad as orders taking a while. Old bold dude wearing sunglasses and a raincoat even though it's sunny as fuck outside. Starts banging on the counter, yelling and swearing and stuff. Families eating are obviously scared. Try to be civil and politely tell him, please don't yell, just be patient and please don't yell. Fuck you. Reaches across the counter and tries to grab me. Dodge out of the way and try to get manager. Tell him a customer tried to assault me, please call the police. Yeah, I heard. If I was talked back to like that I would have done the same thing. Starts going on a rant about how the customer's always right, literally using that kicking cliche, and I should never talk back to them. Says, you're the only one of my employees who's completed college, and you're the dumbest one here. That's the last straw. Scream fuck you, I quit. I can't stand being degraded like this. I'm not gonna be a fucking wage cuck anymore. Manager laughs and says, oh what? Realize that I literally said wage cuck out loud. Start tearing up and run out of the store. Please validate my actions and tell me I did the right thing, for the most part. I love Corona so much for this. I got at least 3 weeks of working from home ahead of me. There is literally zero reason for me to get up 2 hours before I'm supposed to start work, wear uncomfy clothes, drive an hour, sit in a box, when only 1 out of 5 meetings I have is in person and the rest are e-meetings. Meanwhile I can't cook, I can't do laundry, I can't do anything at all around the house because I'm not there. I'm putting thousands of miles on my car for no fucking reason, buying gasoline for no fucking reason, having to use public bathrooms for no fucking reason. Why? Because boomers always had to live in a cube and I'm supposed to just because? Fuck that. I do what I need to do. Actually I am more productive at home than I am at work. Because I'm more comfortable, I have time to eat a good breakfast, I have my office at home set up exactly as I need it to be. I imagine that hopefully this will be a big shift for companies that realize that they don't have to pay out the ass for office space and they get the exact same productivity that they would otherwise.
Wage slave is truly slavery of the body and mind. I used to regret wasting years as a NEET until I realized that being a wage cuck takes away the most valuable thing in the universe, time. You cannot get it back. A wage slave is destined to 8 hours of mind-numbing working, and to cope with the stresses, he consumes whatever is trendy because he needs to forget his miserable lifestyle. He cannot study the Greeks or learn to appreciate the arts as this will take up time. The wage slave always thinks in how much time it will cost him instead of actually enjoying hobbies. Everything serves as an escapism instead of a learning experience. Self-improvement is never on the table. Once their free time is over, it's back to the same mind-numbing job again. A wage slave may respond with "my paycheck," but what good is a paycheck when you do not have the time to learn how the financial markets work, let alone being able to invest? Even most are sold into the lie that only 8% gains are possible in the stock market. It is a shameful cycle that most go through. I pity the wage slave more than the NEET.
I am literally scamming my boss by being a hardcore NEET. Get paid from 7:30 am to 4 pm. Get paid per hour. Arrive at work at 8:30 am because nobody comes in before 9 anyway. Eat breakfast at work. Start working around 9 am. Make some coffee, which takes another 5 minutes. Go to the bathroom at 10 am and shit for 30 minutes. Go on break at 12:30 pm. Be on break till 1:45 pm. Work till 3 pm and go to the toilet again. Sit there till 3:20 pm. Make some coffee and get back to work at 3:30 pm. Work till 3:45 pm and leave. So basically I am getting paid for 8.5 hours, of which I actually only work 5. Feels good, man.
Code monkey. Coworker that outranks me is technically incompetent. Might genuinely be a psychopath. Has spent the year since changing teams, manipulating others into doing his work and politically destroying them as soon as they connect the dots and stop. I was the last target. Single-handedly ruined a comfy-ass job team. For some godforsaken reason chooses me as a peer reviewer. My direct manager is friends with him outside of work, so I'm probably fired if I'm negative. Spent past 2 weeks going back and forth on how negative to be and having arguments in my head with everyone. Will most likely trash him and get fired. TLDR, I'm a pussy.
Switch shifts with coworker. He doesn't show up at all. Really? I took your shift, you were supposed to take mine, you asshole. Wage slave problems get fucked wage.
Be me a month ago. Walk into work after a week of vacation. Dude from HR tells me I'm getting promoted and not to tell anyone just yet. Happy as flick, it's my first real job and I've worked really hard to prove myself. Tell friends and family. Couple days later, boss comes over to my desk and tells me I've been promoted, but it's just a lateral promotion and it's just a title change. No pay bump, no different work, no more responsibilities, literally just a change from one meaningless title to another meaningless one. Humiliated and embarrassed, forced to tell family and friends. Email HR dude asking to meet about the promotion. She says we'll meet, but never follows up. This is so fucked up. I don't even know how to handle this. I can't even quit just yet because I have less than 1k in the bank and all my money is in Link. How do I get back at the company? I don't want to fuck over my boss or my team because they've been okay to me. What are some ways to fuck over the company? Just stop working and sit there? Start doing whatever I feel like? Can't get fired just yet, and I'll have a much better potential job opportunity in the next few months.
Forcibly wake up at 5 am. Drive half asleep to work. Sit down in dark office where you're forced to spend the next 8 hours doing Link pointless chores. Come home, mentally and or physically drained. Too tired to do anything productive, just collapse on couch and watch some generic bullshit movie. Go to bed feeling like shit, knowing you have to do it all again tomorrow. I am 100% convinced we are all dead, and this is our hell.
I exist to provide labor to my employer. In return, I receive just enough money to provide for basic shelter, food, and transportation, so I can return the next day and labor for my employer again. I will do this day after day and be thankful for the privilege. I will do this week after week, month after month and year after year until my health and body can long provide value to my employer. Then I will die.
First day at work. Customers are too loud and noise is everywhere. Go into back room for quiet time. Manager yells at me why I walked away. A customer was doing an order. Close my eyes and cover my ears to give me more quiet time. Manager grabs me arms and shakes me. Start hitting him and screaming as I always do when people touch me without my permission. He gets mad and tells me to go home. Go home. Fast forward months later. Apply for disability due to autism. TFW, it got denied. TFW, have to go back to working again.
Be me. Jobless foot fag. Actually unhealthy, how much feet turn me on. Go to the mall with my mom cause she needs new shoes. She thinks I'm a good son because I go with her and help her carry stuff. Actually go to look at feet. Always go to this expensive women's shoe shop. Only rich white MILFs and their cute daughters go there. Spot sign that says they are looking for someone to help customers pick shoes. Dreamjob.jpg. Shoot my shot. Get the job. Literally touch and look at feet all day long. Get paid for it. Sometimes I'd hold a foot for a while, as if I'm thinking which shoe would fit them better. Bring some random shoe after. They always love it. Even caress their soles and compliment their feet, as if I was a foot expert. Feet sommelier. Don't even wash my hands, after groping their soles like they were Japanese schoolgirls in some jav. Always masturbate in the bathroom during my breaks. One day, after helping a MILF with perfect feet, she asks to see my manager. Fuck, I got caught. Fight or flight activates. She tells my manager she wanted to congratulate me on how dedicated I was to my job and how I would even put on their shoes for them so they didn't have to bend down. Crisis avoided. Manager says she's happy she hired me. Go masturbate in the bathroom as always. Get a raise next month. My life couldn't get better, guys. I'm living in a dream right now.
Be me, early 2000s. High school fucknut working at Wendy's. Have weird manager named Mika. 35, lives with his mom, manages fast food, etc. Pretty sure he's a pedophile too. Constantly leering at the underage girls working there. Always hovering over them, way more friendly with them than the boys, etc. We all make fun of him when he's not around. One Halloween, he has a bright idea we should come to work in costumes. And his idea of a costume was to dress up as one of the girls. He even asks them for their uniforms. One girl finally gave him hers, because he wouldn't stop asking. Halloween comes, and everyone said fuck that to the costume thing, and came to work in their uniforms. All except Mika, obviously. He stays in the girl's uniform all day, having the biggest grin we ever saw on his face. And a very visible erection. TFW, I'll always remember when he worked the register, and the costumers tried really hard not to stare at it. Finally, our hours were up, and we all went home. Where we laughed and made of him along the way. What a loser, I thought. Glad I'll never become him. MFW 35 now, and exactly like Mika. Managing the same Wendy's as well. How the fuck did this happen?
Failed out of uni at 20, moved home, dad pestered me to get a job. Told me walk in, look the manager in the eye, give him a firm handshake. Tried 400 applications online, dad started driving me around, just go in there and get it. Eventually got job as janitor at truck leasing firm, $8 per hour, but benefits too. There about 9 months, just turned 22, see a tall, broad-shouldered guy walk in. Dark blonde, blue eyes. Strong jaw, the entire Chad look. Walks to me. Looks down from 6'3", in a really deep voice, where's the manager? Please? I point, he goes. Watch him talk with the manager. They laugh a few times. Tall guy shakes his hand and leaves. Next Monday tall guy starts, apprentice mechanic, $13 per hour. He's 18, just turned. The shop was the first place he tried, because he lived close. Funny, confident, everyone likes him. He starts taking diesel classes weekends, gets certified in 6 months, making $18 per hour. I got a raise to $9. He's doing online degree. Gets his CDL, more certain. Up to $22 per hour. I try one of the diesel classes. Fail. Try online unit. Fail math again. He turns 21, immediately leaves for a job in sales. Sometimes in the morning he's left donuts for his old crew. I take them in, sweep. He came around his 22nd birthday to say hi. Driving his new Mercedes. I'm up to $11 per hour. Remember meeting the manager. Stuttered, looked away, no hand strength, dad told me the truth. It's just not for me. Worked a shitty manual labor job all summer into fall. Inhaled large amounts of lead dust, heavy metal fumes and solvents. Have tons of heavy metals in my skeleton. Every time I sleep poorly, exercise too hard, or get stressed for too long, it gets released from my bones and I feel like I'm dying all over again.
That feel when I've been working between 40 and 100 hours a week over the last 6 years, and the only thing I have to show for it is a 2-bed 1-bath house at 25 years old that I still work paycheck to keep it mine.
Shitty manual labor job as a painter. Painting inside of a school gym. Metalworkers working on steel on the roof. Sledgehammer on steel sounds like a fucking rifle going off due to all the reverb in the gym. No earplugs. Woo, sing it baby, give it to me. They start sawing a 9-inch high beam. Reverb intensifies. Sound is so loud it feels like the saw is cutting through your chest. Literally shakes your eyes and your skull. Tunnel vision, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's paint on his fingers already. Bob's epoxy. He's nervous. But he can't close his ears to stop pain. And he keeps on forgetting how to get out. He pulls the lift joystick but it won't go down. It's over. How? Everyone is grinding now. You better jump to get away before your heart goes blow.
Big indoor paint job. End of the job. I'm the guy that has to clean up all the dried drips on the floor molding. Go around dumping acetone on everything for 6 hours straight. Final objective is to clean some paint buckets. Pour acetone in buckets. Lean in and start scrubbing. TFW when starting to not feel so good. Finish scrubbing and pack up the job. TFW starting to not see so clear. Drive home and get out of the car. TFW starting to not walk so straight. Shower up. TFW strong scent of acetone on my breath. Try to relax for the night. TFW head spinning like never before. Try to lay down. TFW lungs feel like they're full of fizzing molten lava. TFW migraine sets in for 2 days.
Work at a locally owned grocery store when I was 19 for this summer. Have to do literally everything in the entire store from cleaning the bathroom to groundkeeping, to even building and painting the shelves. Managers would do shit like hit me on the back of the head with water bottles. Had to spend several days sorting out bottles of nail polish, many of which were broken in the box, and the broken glass would cut through my gloves. Manager asks me to vacuum his Land Cruiser, then goes fucking mental and tries to strangle me to death when I missed a spot.
Night audit at a dumpy little hotel. Actually pretty chill most of the week, except for Friday and Saturday, because of the hotel bar. After a few months, bar complains they're too busy to take care of their own shit. Already take care of the 2 public restrooms on our side of the hotel. Never more than a quick mop and refiling the paper. I get told part of my new duties is to also clean the bar restrooms after close. Go into the men's room. Beer bottles, piss, paper towels on the floor next to an overflowed trash can. Take out the trash, hit everything with a mop, no big deal. Go into the woman's room. Knocked over by the smell of blood and shit. Looks like the inside of an abortion clinic's dumpster. Used tampons and pads thrown everywhere. Blood on the floors. Blood on the inside the stalls. Blood on the fucking walls like they were performing some sort of fucking blood ritual. Toilets are all covered in drunken cunt tequila shits because women refuse to put their asses on the toilet seat and insist on shitting while hovering. Put an out of order sign on the door and just go back to my desk. Inform the front desk manager the next morning to consider this my immediate resignation if I am asked to take care of the bar bathrooms again. She thinks I'm bluffing or being a whiny faggot because I don't want to do any work. She checks the bathroom. Actually kept my job. It becomes the bar's problem again.
Any Wagies with confessions here? I'll start. When I was 18 and still in high school a few years back, I worked at Walmart for a few months as a cashier before I ended up quitting. During that time I regularly double-scanned random items when customers were being assholes. Most of the time they didn't notice. Forget to scan items when customers were being nice to me. If some item wouldn't scan, we had to manually enter the price and department. 99% of the time I'd enter it as a $1 shirt, even if it was a $60 video game. Always volunteered to work self-checkout. Dumbasses always forgot their change, and I'd take anything less than $20. Probably made at least $200 over 5 months this way. I'd get assigned to stand in for greeters. I never checked a single receipt, even when people walked out with expensive shit. Volunteer to be the greeter in the garden section. No one ever went in it, so I would just chill, dick around on my phone, or even get food, because I'd just be out there for 4+ hours at a time. Sell alcohol, cigs, and other shit to friends in exchange that they either gave me cash or put booze in my car for me. Made a few $100 this way as well. Regularly sold ammo to my friends, some as young as 14. There's probably more I could bring up, but I don't remember right now. Looking back, I have no idea how I wasn't fired from that place.
Me. COVID cleaner janitor for minimum wage. Work in a building all alone, no one is here. Literally show up to work in sweatpants, clock in on my phone and shitpost on 4chan for 5 hours every day. Just clean the surfaces on tables so they think I'm cleaning everything. Boss tells me I'm doing a good job, no one has had COVID here. Literally don't clean that much. Sometimes just straight up take naps on the floor. FaceTime the homies and get high with them. This pandemic is fucking retarded, my job is a fucking meme job, I'm at peak clown world, and I cannot escape it. I don't ever speak to anyone, I have no social life or friends because of this pandemic, and I no longer care for this world anymore, this job is driving me fucking mad.
Heck, I quit about 30 jobs on the first day back in my late teens early 20s. Work a plastics factory for 1 day on production line. 2 hours in, my machine backs up. Oh fuck. JPG. Go on break and walk off. Head out to car. Leave. Or work a Target as stalker for 1 day. Immediately hate it after 3 hours. Stop putting things on shelves, just start fucking with hand scanner and zapping the shit out of everything. Leave it worse than when I got there and never go back. Or work for marketing firm in my first corporate job. Start at low level, doing mostly data entry and learning MS Access shit. Workload slows, but manager won't train me on new shit, afraid she'll lose control by teaching me anything of value. Start taking longer and longer lunches. Get to where I'm gone for almost 2 hours, because I just go to the gym and lift during this slow period. Start complaining to manager that I'm bored as fuck and need more shit to do. She still won't let me leave early, wants me to just keep studying 1200-page Access book for work she won't even train me to do for database management. Other departments somehow manages to convince owner that it'd be fun to put a Neo Geo in the office to look hip to new clients. End up spending 90 minutes at the end of the day playing video games in the office, and nobody gives a fuck. Ripping CDs during other free time and start my own business while there because, well, why the fuck not? Get my feet off the ground with new company. Quit on my 25th birthday. Nobody talks to me at my going away party, so I just eat a whole pizza myself and go to the gym for 2 hours afterward and never go back. Ah, fun times, fun times.
I worked as a security guard in a large office building downtown at night. Lied about checking all the shit you have to check in the building. Played on the computer I wasn't supposed to touch. Ransacked a lot of office rooms and ate their fridge food or wine when bored. Zoomed in on the camera to look at chicks' asses and tits. Flirted with the prettiest women, got a few numbers. Literally sat online all day.
I got a really shitty restaurant job while traveling to make some extra coin. When I had enough I waited until payday Friday and just didn't show up for my next shift. The manager called me. "Where are you? You're supposed to be here." Well, I'm actually at the airport right now." "Is this a fucking joke?" "Nope, can you please send my income tax form to click?" "Feels good, man." I had to send the government after them for my tax slip too.
Old manager of group was best I'd ever had. Gave me all the hard stuff, put me in charge as team lead. He decides to change jobs. New manager gives me nothing to do. Demoted me from team lead to bug fixer. Obviously hates me but needs me. Because I am the most competent guy in the group. Anything complicated, I'm the only one capable. I ask contract agency to find me a new contract. They ignore me, don't even give me my annual review. Obvious that they don't want to pay me an increased hourly. Finally, after 6 months of being bored out of my skull, I hand in a letter of resignation. I resign, my final day is March 19. Sincerely, Anonymous. Manager throws shit fit. Screaming furious at my betrayal. Calls contract agency and demands they force me to stay. Leave anyway. Worked for me.
Be the only person there who can use an archaic system. Get strung along for a year for a promotion that never appeared. Got a better offer. Handed in my notice. They suddenly managed to offer me the promotion. Told them it was too late. They asked me to stay on for 4 weeks to train someone on the system. Had 3 weeks of holiday left to use. Told them I would not take it if they paid me 2x the value of the holiday. They agreed. Did nothing for 4 weeks and gave the replacement guy a bunch of irrelevant shit to read. They're fucked.
Me. Between jobs but know how to fit tires. Walk into tire shop. Give boomer firm handshake. Hired. Boomer boss promises $21 an hour. Pretty good. Work there for a week, breaking my back on truck tires and other heavy shit. Payday comes. Look at payslip. $13 an hour. What the fuck? Wow. Go ask boss, maybe it's a mistake. Ain't no mistake son, take or leave it. Yeah nah yeah, get fucked cunt. Get changed in the toilet. Hand back sweaty uniform. Say goodbye to the bros. Walk out at peak hour.
3-person team, 1 boss and me and another coworker. Coworker quits. Boss goes on 2 vacations in 3 weeks. Tell my boss I need a raise if I'm gonna be doing 3 people's jobs. No. Let work start piling up. Start showing up late. Watch office space for the first time. This was a bad idea. Big client needs some work done. Tell my boss to do it or fire me so I can collect neat books. Get fired.
I was working as a gardener for a really hot bimbo whose husband died. I was always alone watering plants and cleaning up, very comfy. One day I see on my phone that BTC was mooning. Oh, shit. I have to finish up fast and go back home. Go home, midway through realize that I left the water on. Get back as fast as I can. Whole garden is flooded. Get fired when she comes back.
I've quit twice now. First job was for a defense contractor. During the hiring process they told me I'd be doing programming and troubleshooting of computer systems on naval ships. I thought badass. On day 1 they pulled the rug from under me and said I'd be doing 40 hours per week of CAD electrical work. I stayed for 6 days, and on the last day, I slept until 11 a.m., walked in with jeans and t-shirt right to my boss's cube, and said I quit. He was fucking furious. Last job I quit was a great job, but the pay was shit. This was during COVID, so I typed up some long-ass thank you and goodbye to my boss. We had a good Zoom chat saying goodbye and that was it. The most based part about all this, in my feeble mind at least, is that job 1 gave me a sick golf polo and a coffee mug on day 1, and that coffee mug is the main coffee mug I've used for years now. Coffee.
A fabrication job where manager is supposed to train me. He half-assedly tells me stuff and is then basically like fuck off and figure it out. Using machinery that could kill me.exe. Start feeling like shit because guy is an ass and doesn't help me learn yet expects me to know everything. Get yelled at for minor stuff. One day he drives the forklift while it's still plugged into the charger mounted above it on the wall. Crashes to the floor.exe. See an arc of electricity shoot from it. He laughs it off. Later on helping him install a giant ass fan for a spray booth and he yells at me for grabbing the wrong drill bit. I decided in that moment I was done, so I went to the office design manager and was like I'm done. It really just pisses me off when someone treats you like a retard, yet they don't fucking teach you anything, plus the fact that if I made a small mistake I would get berated, yet when my boss almost broke a 20k forklift charger and could have killed someone he laughed it off. If I did, that he would have probably fired me on this spot.
I was working at a gym on a US base in Germany for $11 hour. It's notoriously a do-nothing job, but at one point some new cuckbags took over management and intentionally tried to make it painful to work there. Useless tasks, micromanaging, watching security footage to make sure Wagie is entitled, reprimanding being 5 minutes late, make sure you tuck in your shirt. Intolerable for such low pay. The job was designed for retirees who just want to stay legally in Germany under NATO SOFA. New managers were insufferable as people. After 2 weeks of that I began applying for anything. Got extremely lucky and landed a 9-month contract in Afghanistan, $160k all expenses paid. It was June and I had to report in November, so 5 months left of the gym waging shit. I could not officially quit the gym job. When you do, that they revoke your ID, base privileges, everything. I needed the SOFA continuity to slide into the contracting job. I told no one about the new job. I sold all my shit including my car. I took all my annual leave, but still had 4 months left of waging. I made up a story about my dad being sick. Aw dude, my dad, he hurt his leg bro, he's on the pills. I gotta go help him. I took extended family medical sick leave, paid. I finally told a boomer coworker what I was doing. He retired the next week. 2 other coworkers quit. That left one staff to operate all 3 shifts at the gym. Managerkicks had to start doing the useless tasks they came up with. They were seething. They actually went through the channels to verify my family medical leave. I had my dad forge a doctor's note. I can't walk, dude. I'm on these pills now. I pulled this off up until November. Sent my boss an email saying I won't be coming back. He replied me with all the 2-week official out processing procedures. I didn't do any of it. I gave my keys to the one staff remaining. Told him what I was doing and convinced him to quit. Last I saw, the gym still has no staff. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe.